Hey, what's up? Anyone else trying to sell their shit before my set? Everyone's just shouting out fucking specials. All right, I usually don't like asking the crowd questions before my sets, but I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna give you guys a warning though. I know you guys Chatterbox. I give you an inch, you fucking take me for a mile. I ask you guys how you're doing. Next thing I know, some fools talk about getting hit growing up and shit. And that's not exclusive to Father's Day either. That is 24/7 here at the Chatterbox. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. If this has happened to you, go ahead and clap it up. Has anyone in here ever walked in on their older brother having gay sex with their boyfriend Greg? Just me. All right. This happened a few years ago. It was just to set the picture. It was like one of those weekends where our parents were out of town, so we had the time for ourselves. I had gotten home from a party. I don't know if you can tell, but I like to party. I got home from the party. I got out of the Uber, and then I see that all the lights in the house are off, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Then I see my brother's boyfriend's car outside of the house, and I'm like, oh, Greg is here. And then it hits you. I'm like, oh fuck, lights are off, they're fucking in the house. I came home too fucking early, I'm about to walk in on seeing my brother have sex with his boyfriend. And in my drunken mind, I didn't just think of texting them, hey man, I'm here. My drunken mind, this was my plan. I was like, I'm gonna walk into the house. I'm gonna see them having sex. I'm gonna embrace them. I'm gonna lean in and be like, you know what? Dad doesn't support you, but fuck him. I was just trying to test how woke of a person I am, because that's the wokest test you can possibly take. Is how accepting are you of your brother having gay sex right in front of you? So I get the plan ready. I walk in, I barge into my house, see nothing going on, but then I see that the kitchen light is on and it clicks. I'm like, oh fuck. They're having kitchen sex. The hottest kind of sex, I imagine. Be pretty cool to do one day. So I open up the kitchen door, and I see my brother and his boyfriend right in the middle of making personal pizzas with each other, which is somehow so much gayer than seeing them have sex with each other. At one point, I noticed that they put their initials in pepperoni. And I was like, can you guys make out a little bit or some shit? What is going on right now? The news has been pretty tough recently. That's a horrible segue. The word. I did not give any time for that. The news has been tough recently. I'm not a political comic. I don't like to come up here and just talk about politics. But if there's one thing I have to advocate for, if there's one thing that I say us as a society have to come together and fight for, it's that we've ran out of porn video names, you guys. We've ran out of, you guys are sad. You guys didn't laugh because you guys are sad about that fact. But we've run out of porn names as a society. I still remember to this day, the first ever porn video I ever watched. And it's not just because I saw it with 4 other kids in the 7th grade. This fucking porn title video name, you guys. Beautiful. It was Red Meat on Good Friday. That guy's seen it. So much shit very loud. To this day, I can hit up one of those 4 foods and they would remember that fucking porn video. That's just the name that it tells a story. The whole family can enjoy it, It's one of those kinds of videos. Last week, I saw a video titled Hot Blonde Does Cool Shit. The first thing that goes through my head is oh fuck, is this bitch about a dunk? And this I thought she was gonna put the leg between her leg and dunk it in. Something went between her legs, but it was not a basketball. I was very disappointed. Speaking of women dunking, I am a big WNBA fan. Someone started popping up. I love the WNBA. I think it's a great sport. Guys shit on it too much, though. I'll be honest. Guys are always the people who are putting down the WNBA. And I recently came up with my solution for that. The WNBA just needs that slogan, like Nike, just do it, but for the WNBA. And here's my solution. the new slogan for the WNBA should be, damn, these bitches can ball. I want to clarify, someone whistled. I want to clarify, I don't ever agree calling women bitches. That for 100% never happened. All I'm saying is if guys hear that shit, they're going to pay $15 for a WNBA game. And $15 is very specific, but that's the exact amount I paid for a WNBA finals game, you guys. $15. And it's like, it's great going to WNBA games. Like, not you're seeing a competitive game, but you also feel woke as shit as you're doing that shit. Like, the wokest I've ever felt was asking my US women's history professor if I could leave class early to go to a WNBA game. And when she said no, I accepted it, you guys. I did not, I knew as a man, it was not my place to take those extra minutes away from class. And I always feel like with woke stuff, you have to go like 2 steps back to go 3 steps forward. And with the WNBA, like them taking up the slogan of like, these bitches can ball, I feel like that's gonna do it for them. And if at any point you're like, Lewis, that's problematic, you know, you can't call these women bitches. I agree, but my new slogan is 100 times better than the current WNBA slogan. Do you guys know what the current WNBA slogan is? Huh? No? It's these hoes can hoop. Which is fucking disgusting. It's actually Watch Me Work. And you guys watch me work myself getting out of canceled right now. I'm a college student. I'm still in college. Did you guys know you're not supposed to do it for 7 years? No one told me that. This past semester, something pretty wild happened to me, actually. I found out that one of my professors was a stand-up comedian. But the thing was, he was a ventriloquist comedian. Who would have guessed Professor Dunham was a fucking ventriloquist this entire time? I should have seen it when his TA was a talking jalapeno on his stick. At one point, my professor asked me, he's like, oh, Lewis, do other comics like ventriloquists? Like, what do they think about them? And I went up in front of the class, and I told him about this one time I was at a comedy show. This dude had this huge briefcase next to him. And the entire time, everyone was like, yo, that dude's got a fucking gun. That guy goes on stage with the trunk. We're all fucking getting ready. Opens it up and pulls out a dummy. And let me tell you, I've never seen an entire group of people be like, fuck, we wish that was a gun. I would have so much rather seen a gun. There's another controversial take for me. I feel like people who got COVID are a bit too open about that shit. They're always like bringing it up in conversation, asking if you got that shit too. Like, no, to this day, I still never gotten COVID. Only me and this guy have never gotten COVID. People like to ask me like, oh, Lewis, what's your trick? You know, like, do you just like not go outside? And I'm like, no. Here's the one trick to never getting COVID. I just wasn't a bitch. That was my solution. I never did it, never got COVID. Here's something wild though. My entire family did get COVID though. We all live in a very small house and the rest of them all got COVID in 2020, a week before Christmas. Which is, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. That was my nightmare before Christmas, right? You know, I was about to start seeing skeletons in my house. My family, they made such a big deal about having COVID. They put me and they're like, Lewis, you're the person who's gonna make us survive this virus, you know? You're gonna be the one who sustains us. You're gonna get all the groceries. You're gonna make sure we beat this thing. And let me tell you, you would have never seen a group of more ungrateful people than my family when I fucked up that grocery list. You know? It's their fault though. They wrote shitty lists. At one point, they just put like tea on the list. So I just came back home with Arizona iced tea. Like, oh, you know, this isn't the right kind of tea. I'm like, Mom, throw that shit into the microwave. You sound like you don't want to live right now. Can I drink this shit or not? I'll end it with this. Not my favorite thing about COVID, but my favorite like after effect has been like seeing big businesses like open back up. And they always like their commercials are always so like they want us to unite and whatever. My favorite commercial to have seen for businesses opening back up has been for SeaWorld. I I don't know if you guys have seen this, but like SeaWorld's running commercials where they're just like, you know, like, we outside, SeaWorld, we're open, we back in this bitch, you know, like, come see the world at SeaWorld. You know? Just the worst fucking marketing. And my favorite thing about that is that SeaWorld lumped themselves in with all the other businesses being hurt by COVID. As if they didn't have 2 documentaries about them just being like super fucking abusive to them. SeaWorld's like, oh, we're open, come out. And then we're like, yo, what about that whale slavery shit you guys got caught up with? And we're like, nah, man, like your grandparents didn't make it, but we're still alive. I'll give it to SeaWorld though, they're innovative. When like all the whale shit came out and they got in trouble for that, like they switched it up and they started calling the whales rescues. We rescued these whales from their home they've been in 10,000 years. You know, just like millennia. But now they just call the whales essential workers. All right, thank you guys.